Yeah, we both started taking the pill when we started dating and that. And yeah, I definitely encouraged her to go on it. Why? It's that bad. Weight gain, mood swings, that's what I've heard from my female mates. But the other ones have told me it makes their boobs bigger and their skin way better, so I guess it's a bit of a sticky one. Seems to be different for everyone. But my sister seemed alright on it, I think. I remember my mum asking her to go on it once she was in a serious relationship, and I think that's fair, safe sex and all that. With my girlfriend, she would sometimes forget to take it for a few days, so she'd just have a few more when she'd remember. I think she took like 5 pills at one time. They're only tiny anyway. Surely anything's better than wearing the Jimmy, innit?
Yeah, I've never pressured a girl to like go on the pill or anything, but with the girl I'm going out with at the minute, it was definitely a mutual decision for us, for her, to start going on the pill again. She just started taking it. I don't know which one it was just whatever the doctor had. You know, it's more convenient for us. It's less worry for me, you know. I guess I'd take a male contraceptive pill. Like, as long as it didn't permanently affect my sperm and it being all tested and everything. You know, it just makes a lot more sense to be shooting blanks rather than to be firing bullets at a 99% effective bulletproof shield. And I didn't really know about all the side effects either, but if I'm honest, I think I'd still advise the pill. Like, I have no knowledge on any other kind of female contraception, and actually even my knowledge about contraception and the pill is limited in itself. Like sex ed for me, we just talked a lot more about the male contraceptive, like condoms and stuff. But you know, talk to a doctor, discuss it with your partner if you have one, or you know, if you're a wee bit ignorant like I am, just Google, you know, ask about, speak out and get yourself educated.
My only experience of the pill has been with my ex-girlfriend. It was pretty negative. She became so upset so easily, and she forgot to take it a lot. In the end, I ended up suggesting she didn't take it at all. I didn't realise, though, it was something that affected her mood and that. It's only through friends I realised how detrimental it can be for your mentality and that. But I'm not sure about the physical effects. Everyone says something different. I would 100% take a male contraceptive pill if there was one available, but I'm honestly not sure if the girl I was with would believe that I'd taken it. I know that sounds bad, but I think a lot of guys and a lot of girls would agree, really. I want the girl I'm with to enjoy sex, and not to be constantly whining about her contraceptive choices. I'd like to say, learn about the options, and make informed decisions about what's right for you. Don't think about what's right for anyone else. And don't feel like you need to go on the pill in the first place. It really isn't that hard just to use a condom, you know? And if anyone tells you different, it's bollocks, bruv.
I mean, I went to a boys' school, so I don't really know anything about it. Like, I didn't pressure my girlfriend to take it, but we were kind of mutually agreed on her taking it, I think. She did end up having really bad mood swings, and I had to remind her to take it sometimes, so for what it's worth, we just looked at other alternatives. I've heard the pill can make people depressed and generally down, as well as I think you can gain weight and have bad skin, and yeah. So my girlfriend was a bit more moody than usual sometimes, and I think it lessened her sex drive, and she felt really bad about that. She didn't need to feel that way, and I think she didn't realise that at the end of the day it wasn't her fault. And I probably should have reassured her more at the time. I'd be happy to take a contraceptive pill. It's not fair how the pressure is always put on the woman to be protected when it's both of us having sex at the end of the day. We discussed the other options, but anything involving needles, that's just a no, and all her mates have just gone on about the coil and said that that's a no-go as well. So there's basically it's just trial and error in this process, and it's just tough. It's crazy when you think about it, all these hormones that they can't be good. I think it's so important to look at other alternatives if you're having problems with the pill. And to be honest, if you want to come off it, just come off it. It's your body and mind at risk at the end of the day, so it's your choice, isn't it? Just simple as that.
I know a bit about it because we were taught about it last year in school. Of course, it has pros and cons. It seems like people have a very love-hate relationship with the pill, but I see the downside a lot more. I mean, it's sad to say, but from what the girls were saying in these classes, they were really pressured into taking it by their family just as much as their partners. And I hear loads of girls in my class complain about it though, like because of weight gain and stuff. So I don't know, I'd probably just suggest another form if a girl asked me. But I guess you kind of assume they're already on something, don't you? If a good alternative came up, I would be on that bandwagon straight away, like a male pill to make it safer during sex, but also so my girlfriend could maybe take a break from it.
Nah, you know what? Fuck it. I weren't taught about the pill that much then. Don't think girls were that much either. Yeah. Looking back, I probably did pressure my girlfriend into taking the pill, you know. I didn't want to wear a condom, it ruined sex, innit? My girlfriend at the time came paranoid and over-emotional. Bit mad, really. I didn't realise at the time it could have been off taking the pill. Probably were, innit? I wish I would have known more and been able to be there for her more. Thinking back. You know what? Even filling out this questionnaire that I stumbled across on a mate's Facebook page, it just made me want to reach out and apologise for my lack of understanding, to be honest. I didn't know. Yeah, it's mad. To be honest, I don't really know enough about it to give advice or even comment on it, if I'm honest. But I'd say if your girlfriend's on the pill, just please, bro, be patient with her, man. Listen to her. Understand that it's not her fault. And if she starts moving mad or acting differently, honestly, breathe in it. Take the time. Research it. And understand and just be kind to her, man. Trust me.
I don't know. I feel that I've been very fortunate not to have to, well, worry about the pill before. It isn't me having to take it, is it? My own partner isn't on the pill. She has the coil, but that's more for medical reasons than anything. I'd never pressure anyone to take it though. All the side effects are fucked up really, aren't they? But I guess the pill has a huge amount of hormones in it, and obviously it makes sense for people to talk about their mental health, because having those hormones all the time must affect a woman's psyche. Does it affect them physically as well? I guess I'd take a male contraceptive pill, but only if it were proven to be effective and the side effects were insignificant. But it's a privilege to be able to think like that. All I can say is look at all your options and choose which is best for you. Every woman is different, shape, size, personality, and how their body reacts to different medications. Choose what suits you best. If you're forgetful when it comes to tablets, maybe one of the others is better for you. And only take it if, well, only take something if it's medically safe and right for you.
Some of my girl mates are on the pill and they say it affects their mental health, but none of my friends have decided to stop or change it. I know about the coil or something like that. One of my friends said the pill like makes her skin better but her mental health worse. So it's like no spots at the expense of feeling like you're going mental. Don't really sound worth it if you ask me. Not that anyone really asks us lads, to be fair. As far as I'm aware, the implant and the coil cause less side effects and are just as effective as the pill, but like, I know it's a lot of stress to have to go back and forth to GPs to discuss different options. Condoms for us, I guess. And we don't really like wearing them, but saying that, I probably wouldn't take a male pill. Nah, fuck that. Can't really imagine going through all that mad stuff.
I was seeing a girl a few months ago and the pill was having a really bad effect on her mental health. I thought we were being careful, but she ended up not taking it anymore. And honestly, it was great for her mentally. She was back to her old self. The only problem was she didn't tell me she stopped taking it, and she never asked me to use a condom because she thought that I'd be annoyed. Basically, we ended up in a shit situation. You can probably guess what. But like in a messed up way, because it was a positive thing for me, I guess, because it made me grow up. Your mum always says, like, actions have consequences and that, and you have to take responsibility for them. And I really know that now. I just wish it weren't through something that was so traumatising for both of us. The whole situation ruined any chance of us seeing each other. If there was more openness and discussion about this issue, especially an increased awareness for us lads, then the situation wouldn't have happened. There needs to be a collective responsibility from both genders so that stuff like that doesn't happen and women don't feel they have to be alone in their decision to use or not use birth control. I guess I guess I also think my situation is an example of where the female really does have a responsibility to the male to like inform them of their choice too. But the bigger issue is that she felt like she couldn't.
Yeah, so I remember I went to the clinic at like 16 and they put me on the pill as a form of contraception. And it was kind of an activity to do back when I was in college when you became sexually active. Like, I probably didn't need to be on it considering I wasn't frequently having sex, but I'd heard it makes your boobs bigger, so I thought I'd give it a go. Then I was on and off the pill for a few years after that, but I didn't take it properly. I took it back to back, which made me bleed excessively, and I'd forget to take it every day, you know. And at one point it gave me such severe headaches, which resulted in me having to go to A&E as I got a tunnel vision migraine. And after about 50 doctor's appointments, no lie, they finally said, stop taking the pill. And these headaches, well, they went straight away. Psychologically, looking back, I think it turned me into an absolute psycho. Like, my mood swings were so noticeable to the point that my friends and family were clocking and commenting how much I'd changed. At the time, I didn't realise it could have been a side effect from the pill. Everyone, including myself, just thought it was a teenage phase.
Oh my days, I don't even know where to start. If I'm honest, like, I've always struggled with my mental health, but I never realised like how much of a toll like the pill takes and it took on me. Like, I thought I was just like regressing and getting unwell again, and it was completely unrelated. Like, I started feeling like so down and like unmotivated, like not wanting to do anything, like not being my usual bubbly, positive self. Like, my mental health was just like fluctuating from just highs and then to like anxious and like low and just being so depressed. But when I started taking it, I noticed the difference like almost instantly, like click of the fingers. It was mad. Like, yeah, I just become like a different person on it really. And after I'd started taking it, I felt like the fog had cleared from my head. Also, I know this might be a bit like too much, but I had no sex drive like when I was on it, and I couldn't get wet at all. Sorry, it's disgusting, but my ex took it very, very personally, and he just didn't understand that it was like a natural side effect and it had nothing to do with him, and he just got extremely aggressive in certain scenarios, and like he even accused me of cheating sometimes, and I was just like, are you dumb? Like, obviously not. But yeah, it was just a very negative experience for me. It was just, yeah.
My experience on the pill? Well, I'd say overall it was a negative one as it failed its main function because I got pregnant on the pill. So yeah, negative because I was taking it to stop me getting pregnant, but positive because I have my daughter now. And she is single-handedly everything I've ever dreamed of despite the circumstance. Since taking the pill and obviously not working for me after I had my daughter, I then tried many other ways to stop me getting pregnant again. Like, I wasn't in much of a rush after I had her so young. I tried the coil and the implant and they worked perfectly for me. I mean, the pill literally didn't work for me, but I know it does for many of the women. Like, we're all different and we'll all have different experiences and side effects. It's not some kind of Brandy Melville one size fits all, you know what I mean?
Regividon, mine was called. And yeah, I was just so angry. Like, I've become this demon version of myself. I hated everyone, my family, myself. I lost all interest in being social in my course at uni. I started seeing a counsellor because I was just so scared about my condition. And all these like dark feelings and thoughts, they coincided with me taking the pill. But when I finally told my doctor that I thought that this was the cause, he told me that I was wrong. So I just kept taking it. And you listen to your doctor, don't you? So I stayed on it and I suffered even more. My mental health eventually just got so bad that my mum insisted to come off it to see if there was a correlation. And like magic, after I come off it, I started to feel like my old self again. And honestly, I've never felt as bad mentally as I did during that time. So yeah, trust your body, girls. Listen to it.
Summer of 2018 was the worst. My pill made me extremely nauseous, which contributed to my anxiety, and I'd pass out at least 3 times a day. Physically, the pill can really affect you with some strong migraines, cramps, extreme fatigue. The list is endless, really. I started on microgonum when I was 16. Gave me nausea and headaches. It didn't really do that much for me, except for make my periods regular. I'd be in agony from period pains and excruciating migraines. Honestly, sometimes I'd rather have like a fucking permanent open wound. Some effects on the pill aren't necessarily noticeable either. So your boss or your teacher, for example, can't see why you're sometimes unable to do your job or work well. There are so many ups and downs that this can physically drain you and isolate you from healthy relationships. Psychologically, there is no other explanation than feeling you're going mad or hysterical. Hysterical comes from a Greek word, hysterica, which means uterus. Funny that, isn't it?
My boobs got so big. I've heard the horror stories, especially about Regividon, and it honestly shocked me that so many young girls and women have had so many negative experiences, because, like, for me, it was literally fine. I've had no side effects at all. It regulates my periods, made my skin so much clearer. I was almost waiting for something to change, like a shift of mood, putting on some extra pounds. But nope, nothing. I guess it's all so subjective though, right? So many of my friends have been on Regividon in particular and have had awful side effects. I even saw this online petition to get it banned. My friend had a nasty bout of depression because of it. Headaches and bleeding. I guess I'm super lucky.
The combined contraceptive pill? Yeah. And it honestly made me feel like I was losing my mind. All I could do was cry and eat constantly. I remember my holiday that summer, and I remember being at home and feeling unable to see friends or go to the gym because I was just too depressed to see the point of anything. I remember spending time with the boy I was seeing at the time and acting really erratic and crying for no reason. And he was so baffled about how I was acting. Honestly, felt like he was scared to talk to me because I was so unbearable to be around. At times, I would cry until I felt nauseous for no rational reason. I felt like I completely lost control over myself. I started having a weird relationship with food and how I viewed my own body. I literally despise looking at myself in the mirror, man.
So the reality is that we need contraception so we don't have unwanted babies. No one wants to be put in that position. But really, the pressure on female contraception is a way of controlling women. A woman occupied by children is no longer a threat to the men. Doctors can prescribe and hand you a pill to try in one session. And it's my body, sure, but I've never been given the choice of what I want to try. Every form of contraception has a huge number of side effects, and all the suffering from these symptoms are just seen to be normal. And honestly, every experience I've ever had on contraception has been negative. And I wouldn't want to wish the pill on men either. No one should have to go through these side effects. Because being on the pill pretty much ruined my life for the year and a half I was on it.
My daughter made her own decision to go on it. It was more common for her and her friends to talk about it anyway, and she could access great sexual health advice and support locally. We as mothers, older women, I as a therapist and counsellor, certainly hear a lot of pill horror stories. Not working, weight gain, mood swings, sickness. But also the contraceptive pill is not the only form of contraception. Overall, there is a positive psychosocial effect. Before the pill, women were having unwanted pregnancies and dangerous backstreet abortions. Now, of course, the pills were made for women, not men. However, as a material mark of progress and freedom, the pill was so important. On so many levels, it radicalised limiting stereotypes of women as fucking birthing machines. It put some control in their hands and recognised that they had a sexuality and a right to express it and manage it. But it also creates mood swings and weight gain. It's like extreme premenstrual syndrome at times, which adds to the whole crazy woman narrative society loves. Men could take the male contraceptive pill. Why not? Birth control is not a woman's sole responsibility. I'd love men, especially younger men, to take more responsibility. But to be honest, I'm assuming the effects would be similar, which are not all that great. I would lay out all the pros and cons of the different options as I understand them. I'd send them to a trusted advice centre like the Brook, for example. But most importantly, consider all your options. Do research, talk to friends. Be very transparent with doctors and partners, and most of all, trust your body. Do not ignore the signs that something isn't working for you. Speak up at the slightest feeling that what you know to be your normal body has suddenly changed, because it could be your contraception pill.